first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. As always, we appreciate you joining us. We are live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom on our YouTube channel, on the website, and on the Fox 12 Oregon apps. So you're probably on one of those. Thanks for finding us. Just want to make sure you knew about the other places you can go as well to watch all these segments afterward. You know, Thanksgiving is coming up tomorrow, depending on when you're watching this, for a little timestamp for you. Black Friday right after that. And there's lots of great deals that are already going on, and there are a lot of great scams that are happening as well. So we're going to talk about how to make sure that you can make sure that you don't fall victim to any of those and stay safe, and maybe tell some of your friends and family about how to do that as well. To do so, we've got Micki Boland from Checkpoint. Micki, always great to have you here on the show to talk about this. I mean, you know, it's never, nobody wants to think about getting scammed, but there's so many out there, and it seems to constantly be evolving of what people can do. And it's good to stay up to date with that. So thanks for being here to help us with that.
Thank you for having me, Greg. So yeah, I have a tagline for you. While we are shopping deals on Black Friday, the scammers are shopping us. And that is the truth. So there are so many ways and so many opportunities for cyber fraud and scammers to try to connect with your credit card information and your account. So Checkpoint, our research team, we actually see now this year, the 2 weeks leading up to Black Friday, we see 89% increase in website registrations. Many of these are impersonation websites or lookalike websites. We see that 89% increase from the same time period of last year. I mean, it's just continually going, but I believe that these guys are getting craftier all the time, so we want to stay ahead of them.
And so when you're saying website registration, so they're doing something like, you know, and I'm not saying this is one of them, but like Walmart, but spelled like slightly different or something along those lines.
Yes, sir. They do all kinds of really crafty things that it's really hard for us as human beings to actually pick up on. It will be a lookalike very close. There will be maybe a change of spelling or a dash or something slash Black Friday sales or deals, and it'll look like the same. Basically the same website that the brand recognition that we know. If we go to that site, and many times people go to those sites, they see the website looks like the same website that they're familiar with, that they recognize from the brand. However, it's really easy for the cyber criminals to actually clone websites very quickly, so they can actually stand up a website with the new registration very quickly and make it look very convincing to people.
Wow. So, I mean, if you do end up on one of those, other than making sure that the URL is correct, I would imagine is one of the main things. But what are some of the key things you could do to make sure that you're on an actual valid site, or maybe some tells that somebody could notice?
First of all, one thing I want to point out is like many of these, like it'll come as a deal. There's a sense of urgency. Hey, you can get this Louis Vuitton, you know, whatever, or 50% off, or Rolex watches now 50% off. And even though we may look at the website, we're not so good at detecting those, but we're also very incentive driven to click on that link. So what you can do is, if you really want to see if there's deals from, you know, your normal shopping, brand recognition sites, luxury brands, just go to the site yourself. Never click a link. Because it's so easy for that to be obfuscated from people to be able to detect. So when you go there, like I want to look at Louis Vuitton, I'm going to go look, there's some luxury stuff. If I sign up today, just go there. If you don't have an account, or register for an account, make sure it's the right site. It looks right. And then also when you register, look at the browser field to the left and click and make sure that there's a lock there that shows that your communications are encrypted.
Okay, so making sure that that lock is on there. So essentially, if you get an email that says, "Hey, there's a deal," just don't click on it regardless. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes, sir. Don't click on it. For example, a lot of us we shop with like our common brands that everyone recognizes, right? We'll have either a shopping, like a mobile app that we use for shopping, that site, or we'll go to the website. We have those are indexed on our computers or our tablets. So we're familiar with those. We have account credentials set up. So just go to that site directly or use your mobile app. Make sure you're logging into your site. And then also, we always recommend don't just use password authentication. It's just not enough. you need to have at least two-factor authentication. So that means you are signed up to either get a one-time passcode, like a text with that passcode, or even better, multi-factor authentication, where you're actually using an authenticator like Microsoft Authenticator or Google Authenticator. Those will actually, protect your credentials. So if you go to a site, it's not locked, you don't detect that it's actually an impersonation site, and you post your credentials in there in clear text, and it's not multi-factor, there's no way, then the bad guys, now they have your credentials. And most people, unfortunately, they use passcodes and emails over and over for online accounts. So once they find the credentials for one, they will go to the normal brands that people shop. Everyone's Amazon customer, probably. I'm not trying to name drop, but Walmart online. So they will go and try your other sites that they think there's a high probability that they'll score a big payoff if they can get into your accounts. And if they get into your accounts, they'll buy stuff, ship it where they want on your dime. They'll also sometimes try to steal your payment information if it's possible. So just be super careful. Never. And the other thing is, I think the urgency is super important. Deals are cool too, but what is mostly happening as well is that someone sends you a text that says, hey, you got to check on your shipment. It's held. Your payment didn't go through. It didn't process. Click this link. Never, ever, ever do that, because it's a sense of urgency. Oh, I needed this to my grandmother or my kids for in time for the holidays, and you're actually clicking a phishing link and you got scammed. It's just stuff, being very, very cautious and very wary, be wary of the shopping and the sense of urgency.
With that sense of urgency, I think that's really important there too, because just as you mentioned, you're in a hurry, and then of course you worry if you see something, a payment didn't go through, then you worry about why didn't that. So a lot of people are getting those texts that say a payment didn't go through, or your shipping information is off, and you need to re-enter this, or some kind of thing that they want you to click on. So I guess the key there is, even if you suspect it may be legitimate, do not click on that link. Go to the actual website. Is that right?
Absolutely. Go to the actual website, log in with your at least two-factor authentication credentials, or use your mobile app, and then never ever just click a link. It's just too easy. In their technologies, like we have our technologies, enterprise class technologies, and consumer grade sandboxing capability. So we'll check that link for you. But a lot of consumers don't have this type of sandboxing technology, so you're kind of at the mercy. So the best thing is just never click on it, and then you don't have to worry. If you want the deal, I guarantee if it's a deal that's on your normal shipping, your normal e-commerce accounts and your shopping accounts, you log in with your credentials, that deal will be there. And if you put something in your shopping cart and you didn't check it out, they'll actually drop the price in many times. You just have to go to your mobile app or go into your account, and you'll get those deals without being scammed.
Nice. Yeah, without putting yourself at risk there. Anything,
Yeah.
what else should people be watching out for just this time of year with shopping and in general?
I think it's the urgency, the shipping.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll just point out, I mentioned this the other day. I was talking to another reporter. We're seeing deep fake technology, which I've been talking about for years. It's reputational. We're seeing deep fakes of fake kidnapping. It's an event where someone calls a mother and says, hey, I have your daughter, we're holding her ransom. And this has happened now twice. And there's a sense of urgency. There's the voice of the child asking for help or screaming, and then the mother basically empties her bank account to pay off the bad guys that are just scamming for money. It's so terrible. So
Wow.
across the board, yeah, people want your money. They want everything. They want your data, but they love your money as well. So just be thinking of terms of spidey sense. Don't let that deal be a steal, right? Be smart, use your spider sense. And if you're physically shopping, also, this is huge. People don't think about this. Know your surroundings. Never put stuff in your car that people can see you put things in your car and then go some to another store. Carry it with you. Look at your surroundings. Make sure you're safe. You're in a well lit. You're parked in a well lit area. So all those things are super important for shopping and for this season for your protection.
Oh, that's yeah, all very good to know. That deepfake thing's crazy. That's
It's
wild.
crazy.
Is that? I mean, have you seen with the advancement of AI and just how quickly it improves? That this is really helping out a lot of these scammers, unfortunately.
Yes, it's so easy to just pull it off the shelf and use it. And the technology for generative AI and generative adversarial networks, which create deep fakes, the technology is better and better. Doesn't cost a lot of money. You don't have to be a developer. You can actually create very convincing Hollywood type quality. I can clone voices. I can make people say anything. All I have to do is get some information that they post online. I can grab their video, their images, voice, throw it into a GAN. It's called a GAN, and basically run some uh, uh, gaming against the two engines and come up with very convincing video or audio. So it's something that the technology is far ahead of the detection technologies, but in the end, it'll be the same technology that's creating the deep fakes that will be used to detect the deep fakes.
Okay, yeah. So,
We should talk about this again.
yeah, we could do a whole segment on this. Actually, I'd be completely down with that. So, but for Black Friday, bottom line, yeah, don't click on those links. Don't fall victim to that. Go to the actual website and just make sure that if you're entering in your credentials, that you're going to the right place.
Absolutely. And also, I can't stress enough, password authentication is not enough. People reuse passcodes in their same emails. They're on lists on the dark web. They're being shared and sold off like en masse. So make sure that you're using a different passcode for every account. Make it random, have it change, and do a one-time passcode at a minimum. So change your password every time you go to the account. You'll get a new one-time passcode, a change link, change it, and now you've got a little bit of some better security going. Ultimately, use multi-factor authentication, which gives you an authenticator application on your mobile device or your tablet that gives you a one-time passcode and it's continually changing. That would be the best approach. But yeah, and you always, if you can, use your applications that are running on your mobile, and make sure that when you run those applications, you're looking at when you're installing them, what are you giving access to? Are you shouldn't be giving your contacts. You shouldn't be giving access to your calendar or turning on your microphone or your camera, right? So just when you do those things, if you have a good trusted shopping app that's mobile, use that, and then you're in a way better place.
This is all great advice, and Micki, thank you very much for having some time to talk to us about this too. And as we mentioned here, everybody can share this segment. So if you know somebody who's really keen on the deals, wants to jump on those, maybe let them know just to be a little extra careful and don't fall victim to that. Well, Micki, thanks so much for joining us here on Fox 12 Now. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Greg. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, same to you. And for everybody watching, we are live streaming here throughout the afternoon, so we've got more coming up. Many different segments actually here this afternoon, but if there's ever breaking news, we'll have that as well. So whatever platform you are watching on, you can join me right back here. I'll be back at 1:30 live, or like I mentioned, you can see all of our segments and all the different things that we talk about right there on the Fox 12 Oregon YouTube channel, KPTV.com, or on the Fox 12 Oregon app. I'll talk to you soon. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.